Each week, we take a moment, sit down, and talk about things going on at the road in what we call the Road Detour.
Well, welcome to the Road Detour. We're going to talk a little March Madness in terms of NCAA, and March Madness in terms of the road, because it has been kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been fun though, right?
It has been fun.
Every basketball season, but also this season of like Easter and all the things around Easter. It's been mad, but it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
I was doing really good in our staff, what do you call it, pool that we had, our ESPN bracket pool. And I don't know if I'm still leading it or not. Vic may be leading it now because Tennessee got knocked out. And
why did you pick Tennessee? Because that's where you're from.
Well, they had a good ranking. They were playing good, and they went further than anybody thought they would go. And then they got knocked off by Purdue. The big man got them.
I actually had Tennessee going kind of far. I had Houston winning it.
I had
my
Houston
original bracket.
I had Tennessee and Connecticut, so I'm still in with Connecticut. But
I have State going far, which I'm
NC
so
State,
thankful.
they have.
I'm so thankful that they did.
Dude, did you watch Caitlin Clark last night?
I don't really watch women's basketball.
I watched the highlights of that. So this is some kind of phenomenon. This is the equivalent to me of a female Pete Maravich. To watch her pass the ball, these unreal passes, and 41 points against LSU.
So this is kind of interesting. I saw that Ice Cube offered her. It's either $5 or $10 million to be on his basketball league.
So I heard somebody say she was going to take that. Dustin said that this morning.
She can still play in the WNBA, which the article I read said. And it's either 5 or 10 million. It was astronomical. But the reality was, what Ice Cube was going to give her is more than she will ever make
in the WNBA.
I
don't care.
And she can still do both. Why would you not take it? Right.
She lit it up, man. For those of you who don't know who Pete Maravich is, she would be the equivalent of the modern day Steph Curry. There's your modern day equivalent. But Pistol Pete could pass the ball and do no look passes, and man, she was threading the needle yesterday.
She is the basketball what you could have been to dancing.
That's it. If
yes.
If it wasn't for the rules,
yes,
the stupid rules. Yeah. Yes,
stupid rules.
Yes, can't believe that.
How do you feel about just standing up and dancing right now in front of our...
I feel pretty good about it. I really do. But the other side of my brain that kind of dictates what I do says, don't dare do that. So
Stephanie's not here to tell you what you can and can't do. So
but she's trained me well. She has trained me well. I hear that voice.
Yeah. That's funny.
So we had March Madness, and we had a lot of fun with that, and that's always good. Mm-hmm. Then we have March Madness at the Road, which was about Easter, and Easter was great.
Man, I loved it. You know, I was in the venue area, and just the amount of people that came through, just loving every moment. It was exciting to see new faces, familiar faces, and just celebrate Jesus' resurrection.
You know, the crazy thing is, our people are the best.
Yeah,
servant-hearted. People who chose the venue, close to 500 people, probably over 500 people. If you add all the four services.
Yeah, it was over 600.
Over 600 people?
If you, all four. Yeah.
A lot of those people chose to worship in the venue. And then I'm going to say 125 or 30 volunteers that were part of the Easter greeting and handing out materials and directing people and just serving. And we could not have done it without them. We had 26 different decisions that day, 13 for salvation. I think 19 people, I think that represented 8 or 9 families, something like that, joined that day.
Well, here's the deal. Again, we've talked about it before. Our volunteers are so great. But it's really, what makes this church so special, right?
Yep.
Is when we know like Easter, Christmas, Mother's Day, there's days that we know automatically are going to be big Sundays for us. And we know that people that are new are going to come on those days. And it's so good to see people coming in the door that may be new, meeting the best that we have to offer, which is our volunteers.
And people that get up and give their seats up. I mean, they understand that our priority is the people who are coming in the door for the first time, second time, who are getting to know us and have the chance to maybe meet Jesus.
Again, our volunteers set the culture, right? From the very moment people walk in the door, and it's just, they fire me up. Walking in after I've already been here, I mean, they fire me up. And so
they were excited to be a part of what was going on. You know, we had on our Wednesday, worship on Wednesday, we had 438 people. Am I right on that?
Something around that, 430 something.
People that worshiped
Wow.
for Easter, and a lot of those people came back and served on Sunday morning.
Wow.
Awesome. It is amazing. It's humbling, and it's a privilege to get to lead
God could
and
use somebody
serve.
like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moses.
I feel like because you did throw me under the bus on Easter, like now I feel like I have to. I've been in the gym
make up
lately. I'm
ground.
trying to I want you to be scared to make jokes about me. You know what I mean? So I've got to start working extra hard. Just
The number of people who told me the best part of that joke was me saying that you told it to me.
who was it? I need you to
there
send
was
me
a
some
list
names.
of them,
I need
man.
you to send me some names. Shame on y'all people.
Easter Part 2, Simply Grace Part 2. We've never done this. I need you to hear this. There are 3 parts to our Easter message. This is Part 2. Yeah. We talked about saving grace. This week, we're talking about
living grace.
Living grace. How do you live out this Christian life once you meet Jesus?
You know, one of the things, again, I'm excited about this Easter series is, you know, sometimes in the past we've talked about just like, Easter almost can be like a one-off day, right? Where it's just come and
a one-hit wonder.
And I love that we do have this salvation, this what do you do in the meantime, and then this dying concept as it relates to grace. And I'll say this to you guys watching, you know, it's one thing to say, I need grace to save me. It's another thing to be saved and realize that you're in a world of mess, or you find yourself in a position where you need someone to say, I forgive you, right? Or to extend grace in ways that you're really ashamed. It's not about salvation. It's about really sustaining your walk and just taking your next step. And one of the things that I love about this week is this, again, we're talking about that. Here's my truth. How about this? The same grace that saves you is the grace that sustains you.
I love that.
And I'm excited for our people to experience not just the saving grace concept, but after that, because we all know that once you get saved, there's going to be a moment that you blow it. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a moment that you sin again. There's going to be moments that we wish we could erase from our blackboard, our history of our
life.
And in those moments to remember that, again, the same grace that saved you will sustain you even now. And so I hope, listen, if you came on Easter, I know that you were impacted by the message. I just encourage you, come back, bring somebody with you.
It brought a thought to mind when I was studying for my Easter message. I read a statement that said, what is the correct response to grace? And the answer was to receive more grace.
Wow.
That is it, is that you experience grace for salvation. So what do? Well, you receive more grace for living.
Wow.
It was just a different thought that kind of goes in the face of traditional religion and what we learn about, just buck up and keep the rules.
I do think that we've talked about this before in other detours, but most believers, I don't want to say all, I don't want to be into that, and myself included, it's easy to fall back to some level of legalism because it's so safe, right? Yeah. And it's predictable.
It's hard standard.
And yet none of us can really ever live up to the legalistic standard that we can create. And we have to have grace.
You get the whole thing of control too that comes into the rule system and power and all kinds of things that go with it. And to be honest, it's a lot, in some aspects, it's a lot more difficult just to receive the grace you need to live the life.
I'm going to be, in my intro on Sunday, I'm actually going to talk about some statistics. I'd love for you, if you're planning on coming, and I hope you are, think through how you would finish the statement. The Christian life can be summed up as, you fill in the blank. Okay, one sentence, not a paragraph, one sentence. And there's a Barna Group studied thousands of people that completed that sentence. And I'm flabbergasted
at the
answer of what came out. What was the overwhelming concept of how the Christian life is? Again, we're going to talk about it on Sunday, but I'd love for you to have time to think about it, not just come up in a moment. But
that's good. That's good. The third week, we're going to be talking about death. And, it used to be in church, the subject nobody wanted to talk about was sex. And now, that's talked about fairly regularly amongst churches, but death isn't. Nobody wants to talk about dying anymore. We do our best to beat it. We're going to talk about what grace does to get us ready for that time in life when we transition out of here. And so if that scares you, right? If you have unanswered questions about death and what's the difference in the soul and the body, and you be here in the third week. And what we're doing starting this week is we ran 4 venue services through Easter.
Yeah.
This week,
important. You need to know this.
we're running 2 venue services in the 9:15 and the 10:30 hour. They will be acoustic set worship. They will not be exactly like what's happening. Hey, there may be some of you out there that like the acoustic music, right?
Yeah. I don't know, my age people, right? MTV Unplugged was a thing back in the day. I don't know if anybody watching
What's
has ever
MTV?
watched. Yeah, I don't know. It was something that people tell me. My parents didn't let me watch that. But the MTV Unplugged stuff that they did was really good. And in my head, for you guys, I'm picturing that type of unplugged gathering in our venue. I think it's going to be really good. I hope you guys don't miss it. It's going to be a really good next step, if you will.
Why would we do that? Because we're anticipating you coming back.
Yeah.
We believe that this fits together in such a way, and it makes so much logical sense that if you were here for the first part of Easter, you're going to want to be here for the second part and the third part.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm fired up.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, man?
I forgive you.
Thanks. I have been so burdened. I may weep. That was great. That was so good. Oh, man, now I know what it's like to be free. Hey, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Road Detour.
Peace out.
Oh, that was good.